Look at us up on Doc Reo TV. You know what time it is, folks. I hope you're hearing me. It looks like you're hearing me. It looks like everything's fine. That's right, folks. It's another time for another episode of Digital Media Marketers. I'm Doc, your host, right here. We're going to be talking about something different today. What we're going to be talking about today is called Basic HTML as usual, the Digital Media Money book, 12 Steps to Multimedia Success, part of the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. And in this particular lesson, I got so many screens going on, I forgot to look at the camera. In this particular lesson, we're going to be talking about specifically how to do list, unordered and ordered list in HTML. So in the Digital Media Money book, this is a video number 7, which is part of chapter number 1. Chapter number 1 is all about HTML. So get ready, get set, because I'm just going to get ready to jump right into it. You ready? Because I am. Let's go. All right, folks. Once again, this is the Digital Media Money book for digital media marketers in the Digital Media Marketers Facebook group. This is the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. And this particular episode is video number 7, list. And let's get right into it. All right. Just so you remember, first off, that we've already gone through video number 1, introduction. Video number 2, hack it till you make it. Video number 3, HTML tags. Video number 4, heading tags. Video number 5, breaks and line space. Video number 6, text formatting. I needed to X that out. And video number 7 is now where we're at now. Stay tuned for image tags, which is going to be a little more in-depth video. Just like this one is going to be a little bit more in-depth video. I think just because lists are a little bit more complicated for some people, so I may have to go over a couple of steps a couple of times just to make sure people get it, especially since we're using the basic HTML steps and stepping into a new type of usage when we talk about the WordPress editor. We'll get into that a little bit later. Basic HTML starts with HTML. Think of it as a piece of paper. That's an HTML tag on the internet. That's what it means. And then you have a head, like on a letter or a research paper, the heading area, and a title might be in that area. And then also you have the body, and that's our main focus on this. The body of the research paper, so you don't have to get into all that formatting the paper and all that, because on the WordPress editor, you will stay in the body. So let's go over complete HTML tags real quick just to give you an idea. If you're looking at basic HTML, you will see these 4 tags right off the bat. That is HTML, open and close, head, open and close, title, open and close, and body, open and close. If you're working in a WYSIWYG editor like the WordPress WYSIWYG editor, you will see things like the paragraph open and close more. You will also see that in regular HTML, but you will see it more often and mostly deal with the paragraph tags, the div tags, or just plain text. You will also deal with and NBSP, which is a non-breaking space. That's what it stands for. And remember, that tag is ampersand NBSP semicolon. All right. You won't have to deal as much with the breaks, but you will definitely not deal with this other break you see here that's in red. It's not been deprecated, but it is not used so much. Heading tags. The heading tags H1, H2, H3, H through 6. So open and close H1, open and close H2, open and close H3, etc. The span tags. The span tags are span, open, and close. They are used to actually give you more style options within your HTML. You can use them with or without Divi in the WordPress editor, but you will see them mostly used when you're using some deep in-depth style or using the div tags. Then list. List are the new, oh well, let me go back because I skipped style modifiers. Some of those style modifiers you will be using are font weight, font style, and text decoration. You won't mostly use more until you get more in depth, until you get more into the advanced. This is just the basics, folks. And that's why I told people that spans are mostly used with divs, because I wanted to keep everyone away from spans until we talked about them more in depth. And that's in the last episode. Now, list. Let's get into list, and these are the new ones that you haven't seen on this yet. Lists are just like you see right here. This is a list, right? And you would have an unordered list. That's what this is, an unordered list, or an ordered list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order. So you get that example. If you hadn't heard of list before, or unordered list or ordered list before, that's what it stands for. Now, the list items. List items are LIs. So you see it before you get into a list, you'll see an open and close UL or an open and close OL to stand for unordered or ordered. Or in the list items, which you'll see in between the UL and OL, you'll see list items that actually stand for the 1 or 2 or the bullets with the list content. Now, that'll make more sense when we get into the actual demonstration. Now, creating list. Creating list can be done with any WYSIWYG editor. I need a period in there, and I need a period down there and down there and down there. I keep missing the periods in these. And they can be ordered list, or they can be unordered list. Open and close OL or open and close UL. We'll utilize the LI or closed LI list item tags, both. We will utilize them both. List items go in between unordered and ordered and unordered list tags. So the LIs will go in between the OL and the UL tags. So you would have an open OL, then an LI, and then a closed LI, or content in between the LIs, then a closed OL. Like I said, that'll make more sense when we get to the demonstration. And then content goes between the list item tags. You want to make sure your content is between the LIs. All right. They can be used within text formatting and style tags. Now you'll notice that statement has changed. Before I said they can be used with other tags, but now I'm saying they can be used with text formatting and style tags, because by now, if you've gone through the list from beginning to end, you'll understand what I'm saying. All right. Now, take your time. Remember, take your time. Go back through this a few times. These lessons, they're in the Facebook group for you. Take your time and learn at your own pace. I will say that every lesson, beginning and the end, because I want to remind you all, I hope to remind you all, that it's not about how fast you learn it, it's just about learning it. So, HTML editing software. I said I'd talk about this a little bit later. For those just tuning in, the WYSIWYG editor is a WordPress, or the WYSIWYG WordPress editor stands for WYSIWYG. It stands for what you see is what you get. And the WordPress uses the WYSIWYG editor within inside of it. For this example, we will be using the WYSIWYG WordPress editor in the Divi software. So I'm hoping you go ahead and get yourself the Divi software, and I can show you a little bit more about that in the lesson as well, because closer to the end of the lesson, I'm probably going to show you some links, some things that I've done with websites just to change things around with my latest posts, and I've used the Divi software. Make sure you have Jetpack installed. This is just in case. It's free. It's a free download for WordPress, and do not use the Gutenberg editor by WordPress. It is not applicable for this lesson. All right, Composer. Composer, you can use that to look at basic HTML documents. You can also use the text editor inside your Microsoft Windows or your Mac OS. All right, they both have text document editors, and you can both look at both. But if you really want to get more in depth, I'd say download Composer. It's a free software. I actually recently saw that in another video, which was interesting because I have been doing these videos, and then I saw his video about HTML content, which I hadn't looked, and I guess I structured mine similarly to his. I guess it's the best way to show other people how to step-by-step go through. So I'm going to look at his lesson number 8, 9, and 10 before I get into ours, or I think he has 8 and 9, I'm not sure. And I will make sure that I'm actually in tune with some of the things he says as well. just because HTML doesn't change that much. So make sure you have a pen or a pad or have an open note document when you're doing this lesson, because some of these concepts may be difficult to grasp. They may be easy to grasp. We have a lot of younger programmers out there, and this is not really directed towards them. This is more directed to 29 and up or 25 and up. But if you're 25 and up and you get this stuff, you know, you can skip through and wait till I get to my next chapter 2 of my lesson, and I'll tell you more about that soon. I don't have the list in front of me, so I'll tell you more about that in the next segment. All right, so with that being said, are you ready? Then let's do it. Okay.
All right. I almost hit the wrong button there. All right, so, okay. Now, this is basically an opportunity. I wanted to go ahead and say that's what I was stalling for. I want to go say, give a shout out to Jamesta Dandridge, who's up in the chat right now, and he's watching some of this video, catching up on, you know, HTML, trying to get some of these basics down like everybody else out there. So I just want to give him a shout out, give him a thumbs up, and keep rocking it, man. Keep, doing what you got to do to get ahead of the game. So with that being said, let's jump into this lesson real quick. And I am in cashchops.com, as you have mostly already know if you followed the lessons from 1 to now, which is 7. And in Cash Chops, I use right now the Divi Builder. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into that. I'm going to push this button and it's going to open up a Divi Builder and allow me to go ahead and put in a text area here, if I can click the right part of it. And then, so I'm ready with the WYSIWYG Builder. What you see is what you get, and that's what we're going to get right here. So I got some text I'm just going to go ahead and paste in here just to make it quicker. And here's the text. Let me go ahead and listen to something, make sure that you guys are hearing me in a good tone. Okay, good. So I'm hearing just a little bit too much of the music, so let me turn it down on my ears real quick. And there we go. Oops, that's not the music. This one is. All right, there we go. So now, as you see here, I have a few social media platforms here, and I have some bullet points. All right, and to get to that is, what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to make an ordered list of these social media, or I don't even know what I was writing there. I'm going to make an ordered list by using the WYSIWYG editor and go ahead and clicking that real quick. And you see it just went ahead and made those into 1 through 5. All right, we're going to leave the MBTI personality test space right here. And then we're going to jump down to the 4 dimensions of the test, which are already in bullet point. And we don't have to do anything to those real quick. But what we will do is we're going to flip over to the text end so we can get a better look. Wait, before we do that, let's do something a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and hit full screen so we can see a little bit better. Now, I think it's not letting me look at the text editor from here. That's pretty interesting. So let's just go ahead and go back into the text real quick. And that's interesting. I've never seen it do that before, but that's okay. As you see right here, we have, for the first list, which is all about the numbers, we have ordered list, OL, and then we have closed OL, right? And then in between we have LI, and then closed LI, and in between the closed LI and the open LI, we have the content, which if you flip back over to this side, you'll see it says 1, MySpace, 120 million to 15 million in 10 years. And when we flip over to text, it says MySpace, 120 million to 15 million over 10 years. But this first list item is number 1. Now, what if I wanted to change that? What if I wanted to make that list item number 2? So we'll copy that out of there. Oops. Let's bring that back. I like keeping my spaces in there. Copy that out of there, and then we'll remove that space, and we'll go ahead and put it under Facebook. Actually, we'll put that at the end because, HoloCast and HoloTube is getting more hits than MySpace is right about now. Oops. And that probably happened because of the simple fact that it doesn't like tab in there. So now we'll go back to the visual, and we'll see that MySpace is now number 5, 1 through 5. Real easy to do, real easy to understand. It's just a matter of seeing it in play. And as you see, I got that ampersand NBSP, that non-breaking space with the semicolon at the end. and it jumps down to MBTI personality test. And then right under there, it's got just regular text. 4 dimensions of the test. And then all of a sudden a span jumps in with a class, Apple converted space. All right, now that is something that happens because I pasted in this document. It created some Apple converted space, which we're gonna take that Apple converted space out, right? We're gonna clear that particular text formatting and take that span out of there and give us a little bit more regular space in there. All right, and so now we don't need that Apple converted space, but we still got the MBTI with the non-breaking space. No, we removed the space just now because I backed it up. And I can return that space once again by clicking here or adding, as you'll see in this text, the NBST. I'm gonna keep showing you all that because that is an important tool that I use over and over again. The UL unordered list, as you see, it's set up the same way as the ordered list, with the LI in between, the LI closing and the LI before, in between the extroverted. And this span Apple converted space, we're gonna go ahead and take that out one more time because that was what I copied from the note document. And we'll go back and see that it is definitely laid out with bullet points, and it's just real easy. Now, what if I wanted to change one of these? I can change it if I wanted to hack it till I make it change it. I can change it on the front, delete it, go ahead and go right here, just like a text document, and paste it, and delete that extra one. Or if I wanted to take extroverted and put it back at the top in the text editing, extrovert that is, and introvert, I can X that out, bring back the space, go ahead right here, click it down, space it over. It's a little bit more when you talk about this, but it's the same concept. Back over again, and you have your unordered list. So that's the easy way of doing it. It can be used inside a span or a paragraph. In this case, because we don't have a need for it, we just have the plain text, and we just threw in the ULs, and they're right there. Or you can hack it till you make it. Like I'll keep telling you all. And if you don't know what I mean by hack it till you make it, go back to lesson number 2, which is hack it till you make it, and you'll get what I mean. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and save this document. And let's preview it on Chops. And I like to do that so you can see what it looks like in the text format. And it takes a little long, of course, because I'm running a lot of things on this computer at once. So we're now going right back over to Chops. And as we're over to Chops, you will see the 2 lists. Now I can bold those lists. I can do anything else to those lists by jumping right back in and using my style formatting, span formatting, or using the WYSIWYG editor. So if I wanted to, I could just go ahead and I do some things old school sometimes. Sometimes I go do Command B, which will do the same thing as bolding it. You know, sometimes I will do Command I, which will do the same thing as italicizing it. And if you look in here, you'll start to see that strong, which is the code for bold, comes in and fills inside. So what I mean by you can use styles on the outside or the inside of the WYSIWYG editor means you can use them anywhere. So don't be afraid to play with it. Don't be afraid to move things around. And as you see in here, italicize. EM is the code used in this WYSIWYG editor for italicize. It's right there for you. And so it just makes things real easy for you. And I save these so that later we can go back and I can leave these up. I'll leave them up, publish them one day when I do have the lessons out there for you all, and just publish them so you can actually go back and look at them. I may even publish a site that you can go back and edit with and play around yourself if you don't have a site ready. So that's pretty much it. No problem, Jamesta. I see he's on there. He's understanding the tech talk and he's getting ready to grind. So with that being said, for those who are still just tuning in, this is the Digital Media Marketers Facebook group. And this is basically digital media money book which is in chapter 1 right now, dealing with basic HTML. And so let's go to the review real quick. Are you ready? Let's do it.
Okay, we talked about list. All right, this is the review. We talked about list, and this is video number 7. And basic HTML, just to remind you once again, think of it as a piece of paper. That's HTML, that's the HTML tag when it's on the internet. And in between that paper, you'll have a heading and probably a title within the heading, just like a research paper or a letter. And then the body is just like the body of a research paper or a letter, and you'll be paying mostly attention to that in WordPress. Now, let's get to some complete HTML tags so you visually know, remind you what they look like. Open and close HTML, open and close head, open and close title, and open and close body will be in basic HTML. If you're using something like Composer and you pull up in some HTML that you want to edit and you want to transfer it over to WordPress, then you'll know what to work around and what you need to have. You know what I mean? What you need to grab out of it. All right. Now, you will mostly be dealing with in WordPress the paragraph tag, the div tag, or just plain text. Now, the break tags that you will use, or the line space tag, break and line space, and that should say that, is you will mostly be paying attention to the non-breaking line space, which is ampersand NBSP semicolon. All right. Remember that. That is the whole code to make a non-breaking line space. You'll also be dealing with heading tags H1 through H6, and that is open and close H1 or open and close H2, open and close H3, etc. Then you will possibly be dealing with span tags, and span tags deal with styling of actual content and dealing with the decoration of different content. They have style modifier tags within them, like font weight, font style, or text decoration. And you will be dealing with them only if you want to really soup up the style of your text. All right. Now, I mean, you may want bold. You may want italicized. You may want underline. Something like that. So list is what we dealt with today, and that's unordered list or ordered list. OL and UL open and closed. And within those lists, you have list items, open and close LI, which, for example, are list items are like 1, 2, or bullets, or the content within the list. All right. Now, creating lists can be done with any WYSIWYG with the or any. I still haven't edited that. Need to re-edit that. The WYSIWYG editor can be ordered or unordered list, or which means open and close OL or open and close UL. And within the open and close OL or open and close UL, you would have an LI, list items. And within those list items, you would have content. So list items go between the unordered list tags, and content goes between the list item tags. Just say it again. And I showed you, so you should be able to grasp that a little bit more. All right. Then they can be used within text formatting and style tags. Remember that. If you're using a span, you have the span at the beginning, and in between that, you would have some list items or some unordered list items, some ordered list or ordered list, and in between the unordered list, you'd have list items, and in between the list items, you'd have the content. All right. So take your time and learn at your own pace. I know I'm rushed through this, and I know, at least the end of this, and I know that for some of you, you might have to rewind and go back. Rewind and go back. Take your time. Don't worry about it. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. All right? It's not a race. You know what I mean? Remember when they talk about the story of the tortoise and the hare? You know, the tortoise won, even though the hare was faster. So it's not a race. Now, HTML editing software we used the WYSIWYG WordPress editor. Remember, that's what you see is what you get, WYSIWYG. And in this case, we used the WYSIWYG WordPress editor inside Divi. And we had Jetpack installed just in case it caused any complications. And we did not use the Gutenberg editor because it is not applicable for this lesson. And if you really want to, I put this out there that you can look at documents in Composer. It's a free to use software. You can just download it and it's easy to use. So like I said, I got that from another lesson that I reviewed on HTML just to make sure that I was up to speed on what I was doing, because I do stuff from inside the WordPress editor, and there's a lot of leeway when you can just hack it till you make it. And even though I know HTML that well, it's easier just to hack it when it comes to the WYSIWYG editor. That's it for the 12 steps to multimedia success. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and let's get to the Doc Reo roll.
All right, it's the Doc Reo roll. Are you hearing me? I just got to make sure my mic is going. Okay, there we go. All right. Always got to make sure my mic is going when I'm switching back and forth like this because it just gets crazy. But the Doc Reo roll is just a breakdown of where you can reach me. If you need to reach me, you can reach us on Doc.Reo, yeah. Now, I said that song before, but I ain't doing that this time. And if you need to reach me on Facebook, it's Doc.Reo. If you need to reach me on Twitter, it's at DocReo_TM. If you need to reach me on Instagram, that picture spot. And on IGTV, you can follow me on IGTV and follow my live broadcasts of daily quotes, spats, or whatever I come out with, rants or whatever, on at Doc Reo. And then you can contact us on the Doc Reo TV team. You can contact us right down there on YouTube, the YouTube Doc Reo TV team, and that was Doc Reo TV. So, and then if you need to contact the ReoBucks consultants, anybody who's consulting, namely me or any of the other consultants on board, we're flipping through. A couple of them are doing different things with different businesses. So I don't want to name them yet until they're ready to really be fully on board and just say, okay, yeah, I'm really going to do this. But a couple of the consultants are really working hard with other businesses around the city right now, and I keep running into them in different aspects and saying, hey, you ready to do this? So we'll see them soon. If you need to reach me specifically, you can reach me. And if you need to reach another consultant for any reason, if I'm not available and I can't cover it, I'll pass it off to another consultant. They're on their own business. They're doing their own thing too. We're just working together, branching out. It takes a team to make the dream. You know what I mean? And like I always say, there's only one I in community. So let's make this community work. Let's put these things together and let's get out there. Contact us on ReoBucks. Catch us on cashchops.com when the website is ready to broadcast that stuff. And if you are in this Digital Media Marketers Facebook group, you are already in the Cash Chop system right now getting the beta testing of it. So which the beta testing right now is the live stuff I'm putting out. And then soon I'll be putting out some stuff that's coming from other distributors. So with that being said, this is Doc. I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show. Let's get ready to go. Peace.